Well, a lot of people look at Reddit, so. Yeah, but it's still worth something, even if they're not watching, they're hearing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Day 9's going on right now. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be down. I don't really have any Zergs that I practice with a lot. Yeah, but they don't necessarily do like real builds and things, right? Because they're just and well, two of them have pretty decent, I guess, but I don't really know because like they're like high masters, like Protoss or Terran, right? So when they off race, who knows what level that's at? I have a guy who just like randomly messages me sometimes asking to play, and he's low master Zerg if you need someone. Okay. ChanmanV? Okay.
That's like the first one in here.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. How do you like me starting the music right when I'm about to get on instead of the intro page? Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about having a silent intro screen there, but hopefully you guys have had a nice day and a great weekend, and really excited. It's show day. Show days are always get me energetic and really excited because I don't know, I just love bringing this kind of stuff to you guys, and having these pro gamers come and show us a few things, and have you guys get to interact with them. It's actually very, very rewarding for me. So that's why I feel so good on these days. It's not actually me being cheesy or anything like that. It's actually awesome. And hopefully you guys had a great weekend. This weekend I had a pretty good kind of, I guess, nerdy weekend. I had got to go check out Hunger Games with my wife. If you guys haven't checked it out, I haven't read the books, but the movies were quite enjoyable. And I think as long as it was, I actually think that the movies could have been 2 movies. Actually, I mean, I think they could have split it up into 2 movies. But it's quite good. Check it out. Definitely check it out. And also, yesterday, Game of Thrones started. I'm sure a lot of you guys watched Game of Thrones, and I had the pleasure of watching Game of Thrones on one screen and then watching Rhett on the other screen. So, kind of had a Game of Drones and Game of Thrones on the same time. Yes, that's right. I just did that. But anyways, hopefully you guys had a good weekend too. But let's get this party started. Welcome to episode 35 of ChanmanV's Pro Corner, where we have pro gamers come and show us how it's done. Today we're going to be doing PVZ with, let me switch this over, with Julia and Nick. Infinity 7's xSixAiluj and xSixAiluj's. Let me pull them on right now so I can do some proper introductions. Hey guys. Welcome guys, and I was doing intros and wanted to pull you guys on before I did intros. But so we got Infinity 7's xSixAiluj and xSixAiluj on, and we had the pleasure of having them do a one-on-one coaching show, a PVZ show, where we're going to have xSixAiluj being the coach, and Ailuj is going to be the student. And we're just going to be working on, I think, general anti-roach strategies, and particularly things that any weaknesses Julia is having. And hopefully it'll be kind of an iterative thing through each game. We'll have Ailuj play against a master Zerg player, and maybe we start off winning right from the bat, but hopefully at least by the end of the show, we'll see some progress, and hopefully the viewers will take a few things from this too. Okay, so they could hear me the whole time. At least I don't have to say what we're doing tonight again. Okay, we're back. Can you guys hear them?
Hello.
Okay, all right, they can hear you guys now. Jeez, sorry about that, guys. Man,
finally, you guys are so lucky. Get to hear us now,
get
too.
gun running here, jeez, seriously. Freaking having noob brain farts tonight. But so anyways, I wanted to ask you guys about MLG and how it all went for you guys.
For myself, it went pretty good. I love going out and being able to see everybody for sure. And so what I said last time was I didn't get as far in the open bracket as I did last time. I fell out of the tournament in losers round 3 this time, I think. Last time was round 4, but I beat better people this time, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick? Getting into the championship bracket must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice. I think I did it in one earlier MLG too, but I really trained a lot for this MLG, and I kind of, my intention is no one really cares as far as the people about how you do in MLG unless you make like top 8, top 16, right? And so my goal is to make a deep run, and unfortunately I was like, okay, I'm not really at the point where I have enough time to get as good as the top people in all the matchups, so I'm just going to focus on PvP and PvZ, and just hope I don't get any Terrans, because I won't be able to, I won't be able to get to the point where I can beat the top Terrans in time anyway. And that strategy kind of backfired. I had, 5 matches and 4 of them were versus Terrans.
Yeah,
so
exactly. That's crazy.
Didn't quite work out. But, I still made a championship bracket. I still took out a couple Terrans, and I did really well in the matchup where I didn't play against Terran. That was one against Minigun. I was, the games the one versus Terrans were, I feel like I kind of shouldn't have won. I was just kind of lucky to make a couple missteps. So that's something I'm trying to work on to get my play a little more well-rounded. Because, there's only so many tournaments you can afford to go to. And
right.
At least I'm at the point where I need to do really well in some of them pretty soon, or else I'm not going to be able to continue going to them.
Right. So you're going to be at IPL this weekend, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
How do you feel like going into it?
I feel I've gotten a little better versus Terran. I still feel, I don't know, I don't feel as confident as I could. And also some of the new IPL maps. I normally like PvZ, but some of the new maps are just the two new IPL maps introduced, and I feel are just kind of almost impossible for me.
That's not good.
And they just don't fit my style at all.
Mhm.
One of them actually map I've been playing with Red Law, and he's like, "Yeah, there's really not too much you can do on this map."
Oh
but
no.
and then the other new map they have is actually really good for two base diamonds, which is pretty much it's like another version of dual sight.
Mm.
But unfortunately, I'm not quite so great at those, so I'm trying to find other ways to play it. I mean, I can still do two base diamonds, but it's not my strong suit. Because my Sentry Marker isn't quite as good as some of the top people who make those builds work really well.
Right, right. That's cool. But IPL is going to be in Vegas, right? So that should be
Yeah.
a good time. You going to stay a couple days afterwards? Hang out?
No, actually, I was just in Vegas like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, one of my good friends had
Oh.
a bachelor party there a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you already, yeah, actually, a bachelor party is probably
But there's
more
no
fun.
such thing as too much Vegas. Come on.
I don't know.
That's
I think I've hit my saturation point for spending money in Vegas.
I know, that's actually
That's
true.
true.
Once you've been there for like 3 days or 4 days, then it starts becoming like, uh-oh, I better get out of here, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it all.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really big into gambling either, so that kind of takes a lot of it out.
Yeah, yeah. Good food, though. There's actually really good food there.
Yeah.
But, and other things, obviously. But but anyways, why don't we get started? Why don't we get in the game? And while we're doing that, why don't I get I think what we'll do is we'll get a sense of, I guess, what Nick's feel for the metagame is, or what you think the metagame is like right now for PvZ, particularly pertaining to roaches, since we'll be working on more of a anti-roach centric strategy tonight. And then after that, we'll have Julia kind of explain some more detailed weaknesses she's having, so that we can work on them.
Woo.
All right,
Sounds good.
switching over. Ooh. All right, it's looking kind of crazy right now. Let me switch back. The scene changer on. But yeah, so what's your current take on the metagame in PvZ?
I don't think there is a real super stable metagame because it's so stylistic, at least for the Zergs and the Protoss. Like, there's some Protoss just do two base Olins every game, and then even Protoss wants to play macro game, so many different Zergs are going to react differently, right? The newest thing is a lot of Zergs do the mass roach, the 60 to 65 drone, 11, 30, 12-minute max. And then they try to hit you from multiple points where your force fields are, and it's going to just overrun you. Because, at best, so maybe at like 120 food, or maybe if you didn't tech at all, 130. So you're definitely going to be a little bit outnumbered there.
Right.
But then there's also still a lot of Zergs who love muta play. If they see you take a third, they'll instantly go to mutas. Or to some who, they see you take a third, they'll instantly go to hive. So there's three main options, right? When they see you take a third, we're either going to try to bust it, go mutas, or go hive. And it's kind of up to you to try to figure out which one it is.
I see. Okay. Let's see. I'm setting up on Antigua since I think it would be a pretty good one to start on. And Julia, or Ailuj, why don't you talk about what are the specific I guess questions or uncertainties you have right now in that kind of roach style?
I feel like I just get overrun with units. Like, I just need to work on my macro and warping in and having a bigger army and being able to deal with it a little bit better. Because, like, I see a ton of roaches and I just think I need immortals, but I don't know if that's necessarily the right answer all the time. And like he said, how they can try and bust your third or get mutas or get hive. Like, I think I need a little more practice scouting that, and maybe knowing what cues to look for to know what they're going to be doing. Yeah, so looking for all those.
Okay. So why don't we have xSixAiluj kind of play the first game and kind of show you the general outline as to what the strategy he's going to be showing you tonight. So let me start this game. Everybody ready? And then we'll have Ailuj pretty much play from then on, unless something comes up where I think xSixAiluj should probably drive again and show kind of show us how it's done. I guess is the easiest way to put it.
Okay, so I guess I should just talk about kind of the general game plan for this type of build.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different approaches Protoss are taking towards Zergs, but there's a lot of really fast third builds. Like fast third is anywhere before a 10-minute mark. I can say it's a fast third, and those type of builds, they are a lot harder to play, I think, because you have to be super spot on your macro, and you also have to. Often you're taking a third that fast, you don't have a scouting option available, so you're playing a little more in the dark. Your scouting's later. It's just a little bit trickier to play, and you can get caught off guard by mutas. You know, you might be out of position against roach attacks, or even you'll miss their fast hive, and you won't be able to punish them for that. So I'm just going to go over a build that's kind of a lot of the. You don't see much on Korea or North America, but a lot of the top European prototypes like to do it, where it's just they get their tech up first off 2 base and then take a third at more than 11-minute mark, 10:30, 11. They get that robo army. The main count of the roaches is get a good army of immortals, colossi. Those are the 2 units that really do well against roaches once you get unit count up high. And so the idea of this build is you don't have that great economy, but you start developing your strong army early, so that even if you're smaller, that you're so cost efficient because it's all devoted to these nice expensive units.
I mean, is it easier to hold though? I mean, than more of a more of a finessing type of strategy, or do you think I mean, you might not think it's better, but do you think it's easier to hold at least this roach?
It is a lot easier. It's much stronger against someone who tries to max roaches on you. Most Zergs, a lot of top Zergs probably won't even go for that against this build, because it is a little bit weaker to Mutalisks. So it's a great build to use. Like a lot of the top European prototypes are having so many problems with Mutas for so long. That's why they kind of switched a little bit away from this build, where it used to be a lot more popular. But if you're not having as many problems, it's not like you automatically lose your speed. It's just still fine. It's just a little bit harder, whereas it's a little bit easier to hold roaches. And that's the truth with almost all Protoss builds. You kind of have to decide your build early on.
Yeah.
You'll have pluses and minuses, right?
Yeah.
Depends on your skill set. So if you're a little bit harder time having the perfect force fields and constant macro against roaches, this is a great build. Whereas if you have a hard time, protecting all your bases from Mutalisks, maybe you should do, a faster third and a ton of blink stoppers or something like that.
Right.
So you put your forge down after the Nexus because you didn't see the pool, right?
Yeah, so I'm assuming it was like a 14 pool. And especially on a big map like this, I think you can always get away with the Nexus first.
Okay.
Especially because you can often, if you build a pylon here, which is usually good, you can slow down even more. Because they have to make the choice between if they run the Zerglings to your base, then they miss killing that pylon.
Right.
And I thought this drone was going to take, okay, looks like it is going to take, so I'll try to block his other third for a bit.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Bully.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to, I'm going to let that one pylon finish. Just to buy some more time against those Zerglings. And also it's nice when it finishes, it lets you grab your 19th probe. A little bit early. That's not a big difference, but...
Oh, because you're on a nice supply block there. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, assuming that you want to get the gateway early, which there is a choice. Some people get the second pylon before the gateway, but I think it's just much better to have the faster tech. Getting that gateway early just unlocks so much, and yeah, it might cost you 1 probe or something in production time, but... So one thing I should do, I should check to make sure you did build a third. If you don't see a third, they might be doing something fishy, so...
Okay.
It's always good just to... And there's no way they can stop that scout. You can just kind of reserve these.
Something fishy being, like, 2 base meter or 2 base...
Or it could be an all-in, right?
Yeah.
So you might want to get an extra cannon. You also want to make the decision to probably chrono boost the sentry out instead of getting a warp gate ASAP. Unless some people get the gases faster than I did, so you could do both. But like for example, right now I might not. With this build, I'm gonna get the sentry first anyway. But if you're planning to get a Stargate, you would often get a Stargate before the sentry. Because you want to get it extra fast. But if you're worried about a bust, you would want to get the sentry first, just so you're extra safe. You can send a Zelda out just to get some map vision too. And I'm it's a little bit late here, which isn't not ideal. So with this build, you want to get the robo units going early. So I'm just going to start it right after that sentry. And then there's 2 options. Some people, I think, you basically want a method of scouting. So you can either open with an observer, but I'd actually prefer the warp prism. It kind of does the same job, but it also forces a reaction on the Zerg. And while you really, I mean, they can just follow you around with Zergans, and you shouldn't be doing too much damage. But it's still, you know, you might get, some units, and when your observer gets here, you can drop and kill some creep timbers. Just gives the Zerg something extra to worry about. And they might slip up on their macro too.
Right.
And there's really nothing else to do at this point in the game for you anyway, so. Yeah, just try to kill these Zergans if they bother you. Zelt Kanishi. Handle them pretty well.
So with this type of build, you're not gonna be doing any kind of pressures like on the, like any kind of zealot pressures or anything like that, right?
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes you follow this build up with like an immortal basket we all in, but this time we're gonna do a little bit differently.
Okay. So already got that robo, getting a warp prism out.
Yep. So just pick up a couple units and I'll warp in some more before I go into his main. Although I might want to warp in one to kill this annoying
Overlord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll warp in a sentry instead of a stalker. It'll both do the job, but the sentry will be nicer to build its energy up for later.
Right.
Usually, a timer on the third is you want to get one Colossi before you take the third. So I'll start the Colossi Warren right now, or whatever you call it.
Colossi Warren.
Nobody ever knows what to call it.
Did you just call it Colossi Warren?
Warren. That's new. Awesome. I haven't heard that. I like it.
That's awesome. There's a Zerg. There's a Zerg hidden in the mix there.
Yep.
xSixAiluj. Okay, so
if the focus is the Warp Prism, just run away.
Okay.
And I probably should have saved his Zealots, but the mining damage I've done just to him not mining, I think was probably worth more than 2 Zealots.
Really, just for those like 10 seconds there.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, what's the full base econ is? Yeah. Actually, 10 seconds is probably 1 Zealot, not 2. So I lied there a bit, but.
Oh, I probably missed an inject or something too.
Yeah, that's probably.
I mean, I probably could have saved his Zealots. So with this build, you do kind of end up building up a good amount of minerals, but you want to save those because you're going to need cannons at your bases. The main thing that Warp is also checking for, you want to make sure that you're going roaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, if they start moving out early like this, instead of getting the cannons, I'm going to delay my third a bit to increase my gateway count. We're going to pull these probes back. I was about to start setting up a third. Yeah. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this Warp Prism back. Just to get the sentry back home, then I'm going to leave it on a side to harass later. And I'm leaving the observer where I can see his rally point. So I can see, is he going to commit to roaches? You know, what's his... If I don't see more roaches constantly popping out there, I got to be worried about what he's actually doing, so...
Mm-hmm.
Lots of creep timbers, holy shit.
Yeah, he's definitely creeping up the place. Which is fine, it's not a big deal. So now I can send the Warp Prism back, but I want all my army to defend.
Yeah, so I mean right now is about the time when they normally come with a bunch of roaches and lings, right?
Yeah, and at this time, it's normally more like the 12 minutes.
Okay.
Usually I have another time for another warp in or so. And I haven't seen a whole ton of roaches come out. Sometimes I'm going to take the natural a little bit later. But it's worth it to cancel the natural over you lose your army, right? This army you can't really afford to lose units here. And if they overcommit, you can do a Warp Prism counter, drop some Zealots and do some decent damage.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of time where I think a lot of Protoss players end up, feeling a little uncertainty, or feeling uncertain, feeling like they're behind, especially when you cancel that. And that's...
Yeah. But the thing is it's okay to cancel if they're committing to roaches.
Okay.
You build up a little more minerals, and then once you get a chance, you just throw down a whole bunch of cannons. Because you know that they have to do damage, because if they ever get stuck maxed out on roaches, you're in trouble. You might want to invest in some more upgrades, so I might even go double forge here. Because I know I'm going to be stuck, a little bit, wanted to spend some money on that I was planning on, investing in all the probes and everything at the third. The nice thing is with these ranged Colossi, you can actually stick them down this corner here, once you're confident you can hold that. And they can really defend the Nexus without having they can defend both angles a lot easier than any other army can do so.
That's true. Lots of roaches.
Not quite the best force fields there, but good enough. I should have trapped all those and just done a lot. But I can see he's rallying in slow Zergans now, which is kind of interesting. Not the usual choice. But I'm gonna add in a couple more sentries now because I want to spend some of these minerals on some cannons. You often have some extra minerals because it's just you know, you don't really want zealots against this. If you see a whole bunch of Zergans like this rallying in, you gotta get suspicious. Okay, is he going to Mutalisks? Is he you know, is he going for hives? One of those two are very likely.
Come the roaches again.
Yeah, a little bit slow on canceling those, but once you get these up, then if he tries to commit, you can warp in sentries on one side, and then on the other side, you can send your army in and trap them all. So now once that expo is almost coming up, we're gonna send some more probes in instead of just the long distance mining ones. Now I thought he was going to Mutas because I didn't see hive, but now I see more roaches rallying out, so it's kind of confusing because he hasn't really lost anything. So he should really have. He shouldn't really keep making roaches because he should be maxing food. I guess he's trying to hold the gold. But this is really yeah. This is not his fight. And this is the thing with this strategy, even though you might not get the economy, you don't really need it if they're going roaches. That's why the scouting is super important, because if they're not going roaches, of course, but one, you wouldn't have to cancel the third, so you'd be in a little better shape.
Right.
But the other thing is you want to start being a little more aggressive, maybe. You want to get blink faster, right? Like right now I'm starting it right now because I didn't want to spend the gas on it earlier, but if I didn't have to, you know, I could have warped in like 1 or 2 less sentries. I could have gotten a couple less stalkers and gotten blink earlier if I was afraid of mutas. Because mutas are definitely a potential threat here.
Right.
I'm just going to send some. At this point, you pretty much just win. You just wait to max out, then you attack. And the idea is you want to wait till you max out. Now he's going mutas. That's something to keep an eye on. They're going mutas, mount attack a little bit sooner.
Oh, okay.
So that way, if the mutas try to base race you, I don't have blink yet. It's going to be hard to keep up with them. I can at least just kill him, and they can't totally kill me, right? I'm not going to just straight out die to mutas.
Yeah, I mean, you could just add up like 5, 6, 7 cannons right now, and it'd be hard.
Yeah.
It'd be hard as crap for them to do it.
I'd rather get stalkers at this point, but
oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, his meter count's so small. So
yeah,
that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah, no, you just kind of walk through.
How does this?
It's a really patient type of game.
How
you
does?
just have to be careful to make sure they're not heading corners on you.
I was gonna say, how does this differ than 2-base? I mean, like you took a long time to establish that third, anyways, right? And you were just building your army pretty big, anyways.
Well, the difference is that I mean, in 2-base timing, you can't stop 6 turns, you can't the third. One of the main differences. It is kind of like, and also if you notice, I was trying to take the third in more 11 minutes, whereas 2-base time if it fails, you're gonna take a third about 15 minutes.
Oh, I see.
So okay. And the difference is you could have about 3 more K-rays. So it is similar. It is, it's a heavy 2-base build, and it's more. That's why the scouting is so important, because if they go like straight muta, you're gonna have to take a third a little bit faster. If like your war person doesn't see roaches, you're gonna want to go ahead and attack the blink stock to take a turn just a little bit faster, maybe stop the 2 block side. So you have to be a little bit reactive, or you can turn into 2-base timing. Although your extra gateways are probably going to be too late to do that, most likely. So here, I mean, he might kill a third. I'm kind of, I don't even care if I do this at this point, but
cool. GG.
So it is. There are a lot of people do like a 7-gate blink, and then you take a third behind that. It's kind of similar to that, except it's robo units instead. And it's almost like passive pressure, because you're just building the army so you're scared of attacking, but you're not actually going to risk sending, especially on Antigua, if you send a class army out across the map, you can get flanked from so many different directions.
Right.
It's a good build for someone you're like, okay, I can be a little bit behind a macro, as long as they're going roaches, which in the long run will be weaker, right? And then it'll kind of balance out.
Right.
It's they can outmine you, but you have to think of the fact that once you get to about 140, 150 food, all the money they put into roaches is worth about half what the money they put in. So if they mine 2,000 more resources than you, but they built 40 roaches that are only, they wasted an additional couple thousand resources unless you're able to do something with those roaches. So if you think about it that way, you're not actually super behind economy. But that's why it's really important to make sure they are going roaches with that warp rhythm scout, and then you put the observer on the rally point. And you have to adjust a little bit fast if they do something else.
Right. Okay. Well, why don't we switch in Aluj and have her play this game against the same guy on the same map.
You're in the slot.
Oh, am I? Oh, yes! Oh my god, this is just like the best night ever on Pro Corner. Oh my god. Awesome. Oh, there you go. Nice. Oh, you can actually stop it?
Yeah, you have to log
logged
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Oh. Thanks, Julia.
No problem.
So you took the hit for the team.
Exactly.
Someone had to do it.
All right, I need a re-invite though.
Yes. Let me get you. Actually, you in here? Shoot. There you are. Okay, now we're gonna get started. And yeah, so we're gonna have Aluj play this game now, and hopefully walk through the same strategy, or do the same strategy, and have the same result. That'd be awesome.
So, on this map, some people do forward jack expo using an Nexus as the wall, but I mean, whatever you feel more comfortable with, you can do. I
Okay.
prefer using the fat ramp.
Okay.
Every time you use a Nexus in the wall, and I'm afraid that 5 roaches is gonna walk in and kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
There's really no way to. I mean, if you chrono out a stalker, you can hold that alright, but it can be tough. Or like you have a lot less response time for his Bailey bus.
So is there any kind of scouting methodology you use? Like, are there certain units that you use to scout, or do you, a lot of people pretty much, I think a lot of people probably just wait till observers a lot of times, or, after the first probe.
Yeah, your probe should scout if there's a third or not. That's super important. And if there's no third, you can try to sneak into natural and get a count of the drones to see if they're doing a all-in build or a tech build.
Okay.
But then after that, with this build, observer is your best shot at scouting. And the most important thing is, a lot of people go around looking for production buildings with observer, but versus Zerg, that doesn't really tell you anything. Because a Zerg will likely have a Spire, Roach War, and 2 Evo Chamber. Like, they'll have the production buildings no matter what they're doing, right?
Right.
So the most important thing is to put that observer basically on the path where all the hatcheries have to send units, unless they're air units.
Yeah.
So you'll see the roaches gathering, or you won't, and that'll tell you, okay, they're not making ground units, right?
Right.
And then you want to just peek and check in a hive every couple minutes or something, so. Or every time you get a little worried, it might be going hive.
Right.
So if I'm going Nexus first, when should I put it down? Like 15, 16, 17?
I like 17, but it's you can do you do 15 at this point. I don't think there's a big difference between them. I like to do 3 chronos back to back on a Nexus, but I'm not sure if that's actually worth it. If you do get the Nexus at 15, you probably want to get the Forge a little bit earlier too.
True.
There's no point in cutting probes to get the Nexus early if we're gonna make them.
I just suck at making props. But okay.
Well, I mean, why don't we focus on that? Like, one of the things, is just
Yeah.
make sure, like, you continually make probes this game. Just have that be one of the focuses, because you can only focus on so many things in each game, right? So.
Yep. One good trick is once you get to the mid game, make sure to get your gateway once you can. Once you get to the point where you're basically warping in units, every time you warp in a set of units, hit your Nexus hotkey build 2 probes per Nexus, and then those things will line up perfectly, like 2 probes in a warping cycle, line up just right. So that way, as long as you remember one, you remember both. If you get that mental link.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good mnemonic to have.
And then you can add in building pylons with that link as well. It's like a whole macro cycle.
Cool.
That way, instead of keeping track of 3 things, you're keeping track of 1. You're like, all right, got a macro, and then you just you have to program your brain to think of doing them all at the same time.
We got a few links here.
Yeah. So this is a little bit tricky, but I would just as soon as that, just micro the probes, and as soon as the gateway's up, just build a zealot. It's the best way to deal with this. The most important thing is make sure you're constantly building probes throughout all this. So you want to hockey both your nexuses.
Fuck, yeah. I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, I keyed up. It's okay. It's those damn Zerglings. I'm gonna build a zealot here, probably.
Yep.
Usually works.
Yeah, you can just have the probes hide by the cannon for a bit if you want, or even just put them all at the main. Well, at this point, the zealot's almost down, so. Okay, that's a good surround.
Yeah.
Make sure you progress with your build as well, though. So behind all this,
What is a build?
so I'm gonna get that side core and yeah, there you go. So don't forget. Oh yeah, good. You're getting that pylon to help pull off a bit. That helps.
Yeah, it's a good pylon. Alright, so it looks like there's...
Yeah, this starting should be taken care of.
Yeah, pretty soon here.
No,
Slips away one more time.
You can.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job, Zealot. You're my hero.
3 kills.
Exactly.
It's a hat trick, right? So make sure your probe distribution is good too. So you might want to just either move some probes to your natural or shift to rally point.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna move them, the best thing is to move them so you have a perfectly even split, so you don't have to move them again. So right now you have exactly the same amount of the minerals at each base, but once you take both the gases, which you should do as soon as you can with this build because you need a lot of gas, you need to move 3 more over.
Okay.
So make sure to get that robo as soon as your side core finishes. And Zealot scouts are good. And always try to keep an eye on where the overlords are, so you know there's one at the top right of your main now. Just so you can, you know, send a guy there to kill when he tries to walk in. You could also add in 4 more gateways at this point, just so you can start building up some, you know, sentry stalker to help take that third.
Build up to 5.
Yeah. 5 gates is kind of the standard. I think last game I tried to do F4, and that ended up screwing me a bit. I should have gone to 5 first. I was being a little bit greedy.
Oh, so
It's
you,
almost.
so you think you would have gotten the third up sooner if you would have gone to 5?
Yeah, I could have had a couple more units to protect it. There's almost two. You have to go the stream either way. You should either take the third off one gateway super fast, or you should get a bunch of gateways. Because you're gonna need a lot of gateways to be able to produce, so you should either get them before or after the third. You shouldn't. If you try to stick the third in the middle, it just means you don't have units early, you don't have units late. You just never have a good number of units.
Yeah. Okay, see some roaches.
That's good to see the
Good
roaches.
scouting.
Yeah, there's Robo Support Bay.
See a good number of them.
So you want to warp in a whole bunch of sentries right now. And then with your warp prism, you could just don't even worry about picking up anything. Just warp in Zealots to harass. Remember to keep making probes. And yeah, at this point, yeah, queue up 2 in each one. It's just the extra 100 minerals it's going to cost you is worth it to make sure there's less odds of you missing them.
Right. So do you ever stop even when you're saturated?
No, because you're planning on taking a third. What I often do is if I think I can hold the ground between my natural third, I'll actually shift all the rally points there.
Oh, nice.
Good force fields,
Nice.
yeah, just try to pull the sentries back. Yeah, perfect. Here's the portal. So you can warp in some more units. Just sentry, stalker, zealot, whatever you want.
Nice.
And at this point, you want to hockey that warp prism too. So you can, if you have the warp prism hockeyed, you can control on the mini map, right? You can just click, you know, stick the warp prism, click on the mini map, hold down shift, click E. E is the transformer, that's the use. Separate keys. Alright, so make sure to get the thermal lance. You want to keep getting probes, and now you want to shift your Nexus rally points over to your third. Because you want to start that third right now. And whenever you have a little bit extra money and you're producing guys from, you know, 5 warp gates in a robo, go in and just start building pylons like 4 at a time, just to make sure you're never gonna get stuck.
What about more gateways, or can I get a second robo, or what?
I would suggest getting the gateways as a wall at the 3rd.
Right.
So you have 1,000 resources, but you're gonna spend that on, you know, your Colossi next warp is gonna be a lot of that. Good force.
Nice. Forces aren't doing anything. Oh, they're gonna get the forge though.
Yeah, so try to set up that 3rd and rebuild that forge as soon as you can. That's really important.
Okay.
I got that warpism.
Oh shit. I forgot about you!
So you can use that to warp in zealots, and you could use your gas. Okay, it's just Art Aspire. You can use your gas to warp in a lot of sentries, because your army does need more sentries.
Yeah.
Both cost and immortals will actually lose to roaches if they're both equal cost. If you don't have the force fields down, at least some force fields.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, that's if it's equal cost, equal food, you'll still win because you just get so much more. And that's why at a certain point in the game, roaches become kind of bad because of the food.
Right.
It's very cheap. So as soon as your forge is back up, go ahead and throw some cannons behind those gateways and some extra pylons by your 3rd.
I am here in the shadows.
And also now you saw that spire being started, so this is where you can, it's optional to get a second robo or to go, I would favor Colossi over Mortals. Colossi are just better unless they have Disruptors. They're better even versus Roaches.
Yeah, the area damage is
Yeah, they do way more damage.
up. There you go.
If you can trap those with force fields, that's huge. That's right. So now you just, don't chase them, move back and watch out from running to your natural. And then if you can transfer a bunch of workers, make sure your force fields are good here.
Oh, I'm too far away! Stupid sentries!
That's alright. It's the most important thing is just not to let him get in on you. Try to keep warping in units too.
There we go. It's better.
So this is alright. If he gets in your natural, as long as you kill these units, it's okay. But you want to build a whole bunch of cannons at your 3rds because he's gonna be rallying Zerg, need some more units there.
Yeah, it's true.
Your probes are under attack.
Class I walked over that.
Yo, why are you guys taking a day off, bitches?
Alright, so what just happened is he traded his army for your economy. So this is actually a good time to counterattack right now.
Clean it up first, though, right?
Yeah, clean it up first. Go into attack. Remember to keep making units and keep rebuilding probes as well. As soon as you're able to get a forge, everyone can that 3rd. But yeah, for now, I would just take the high ground at the watchtower because you can't have too many units right now. Okay, actually, watch out for that.
Oh, that's a lot of
here. Should be good. So backing away is okay too. If you see that type of army, you really have to watch out for Hive. So if maybe crank out an observer and try to get an eye on his Hive tech.
If he is going high tech, then what composition should he get?
You're gonna want to rebuild Colossi instead of Immortals, and you're gonna want to go for the Fleet Beacon. If you have Blink, you can blink all those stalkers out. Yeah, there you go. So when the roaches go there, just try to run those probes real quick while you clean up the roaches. Yeah. You can just run them to your 3rd. And if you have your forge up, you can... why are we doing this instead of looking at the fight?
Ah, leave the forge alone, you bitch! I don't really like this guy very much.
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place. This is where having a lot of cannons at a 3rd can help a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been hard just to get them up.
Cleaning it up, though.
good news is he's been, you know, if he hasn't been transitioning out of this into high tech, you're still in actually good shape. Because they're sacrificing roaches to buy time, but if they're not using that time to advance their army, your army is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as you know, once you get to like 4 colossi, and you know, once you get closer to max, you'll be scary. So is your Psychor back yet? Yeah, there it is. You can keep warping in more stalkers, rebuild the forge.
I don't think I've ever had to remake forges as often as I have this game.
More roaches, man.
Yeah, if you can trap these, that's
Yeah, nice.
So now this time, you definitely want to follow this up the counterattack after killing all these roaches. Yeah, just run that Colossus to the left so he has to use all his corruptors if he wants to get it. Pretty slow. If you can blink after the corruptors, that's huge too. They ran over there, don't worry about them. Just protect this Colossi.
Protect them. There we go.
Yeah.
Lose
Now you
them
would
all.
do...
Lose them all.
If you can knock out his peripheral bases, you're in really good shape here, because he's probably almost mined out of his 3. If you can knock out this gold. It's gonna come down to guard each other's force, so, you know,
Okay.
Fuck. Like deselecting shit.
you can do some blink micro too, that helps here.
Oh yeah, blink. Useful.
So at this point, if you can just kill this hatchery and back away, that's what you want to do, because you're out of force fields. And his next rally roaches will overrun you without force fields. So you want to back away, and then while you're backing away, if you can crank out like maybe a War Prism, and try to get Dark Templar attack. Because he might have peripheral bases. If you can hold him to 3, you're in good shape, but you don't know about these bottom left or top right bases, so if you have some way to scout him, that'd be ideal, and then you can harass him with Dark Templar. Like right now, you can even just drag one stalker and try to run to the bottom left bases. Keep an eye on those.
Yeah, it looks kind of like 6 o'clock is probably a base too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little creep blob there, but I think that was from an overlord earlier.
Oh, okay.
But by this point in the game, you could have, you know, any number of bases to start a town.
Right.
So you have 6th century. That's a good number. You don't need any more. You just want to probably wait till they get a little more energy before you move out again. Make sure you're mining to gas it at 3rd. And you also, actually, you probably can't afford to go for a mothership here. So you probably best move is just to hope he doesn't have 5.
Well, that would be lucky.
So while you're scouting the top right with the mothership, if you can grab, or with the War Prism, sorry, if you can grab 1 unit from your army to scout the bottom left, you can just warp in some zealots there, or dark DTs are almost up, so you can do those as well. Looks like,
Oh, he's gonna catch it though.
yeah, maybe get some DTs out.
Oh, is something done? Ah, it was done! Why did I do it? No!
So you actually have the pawn at the bottom right of your main. You can just warp in 2 DTs, send them there.
Yeah.
You can warp in, send some DTs to the bottom left bases, send 1 to the middle tower. If you can take that tower, it'll reveal his army composition, and if he has the middle bases. So DTs just want to kind of spread out and send 1 to each base. No, your upgrades are going... I would prioritize the weapons over armor, as far as upgrades go, but, I mean, at this point, that's finished.
Alright, looks like he just started that 6.
And he's got a ton of roaches still, so this is okay. You just want to wait to max out. So just
Oh wow, he does.
You want to go up to 4 Colossi and then go to Immortals against this type of army.
Probably want to send that Dark Templar up to the top right, right?
Yeah. Or just warp in more. You might want to hold the middle tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can warp in more from your on your main.
What about Archons?
Archons aren't very good against roaches. Archons actually are pretty much only good against Banings and the Vortex against Broodlords. So
Wow.
in general, they're just, you know, their damage. Zealots are just better. If you look at the cost to the damage output, the Archon's like the tankiness of 2 Zealots and damage output of about, well, 2, but if you AoE, maybe it's 3 or 4, but even if it's 4, you know, Zealots are a better deal.
Upgrade complete.
Especially because they don't cost that gas. Archons get really good if you know, late game you might have a lot of gas, not much minerals. Oh, he's He's in
Observer.
overseer there.
Yeah.
He probably has other base too. So your goal here is just to max out, and then if you can, you know, maybe your main army can push to gold, where you can maybe have 8 Zealots and 2 Dark Templar approach the top right.
Okay.
So you can use those. You have that pile in your main. That's a good warping spot. You also want to get an observer with your main army if you can produce one. Okay, looks like he's. Where's he doing? Oh, he's 3-3 on his roaches, so he is high. But you know, if he's mostly roach, you won't have too many broodlords. You can maybe deal with them. If he has roach broodlord, you don't want to blink under the broodlords. You kind of want to ignore them until you kill the roaches. So
And just
Oh,
like
wow.
keep
Okay.
dragging
Yeah,
him on. Kind of
the-
like make him follow.
yeah, you can make him fall is good. What's best is if you can actually squish the roaches into a circle of force fields and then focus them down with the claw's eye. If he has like less than 10 broodlords, their damage output is not going to be that big. Especially because I don't think he has media upgrades on the brooding, so you can actually take a beating from them for a while. It's the roaches that are going to be doing the damage, so you try to kill the roaches first.
Base is under attack.
Yeah, he's not going to let this happen.
You should try. You should engage that though, right? Like when he's coming back.
Yeah, you can move out. You don't want to move out deep into creep though, so stay near the left edge. So like move down like you were, but stay near the wall so you don't get roaches surrounded. Oh, he's got too many spawns for the delta to go in. Yeah, you're just going to have to go
Holy
probably for a
crap.
kill shot.
Yeah.
Upgrade complete.
So you can either try to take the high ground in the middle, then force field the ramps, or you can stay along the edge of the map.
Mineral field depleted. Vespine geyser.
I wouldn't go for his top right bases because he can counter your third.
No, I was just clearing out for you.
Yeah, it's a good move. Alright,
There
yeah.
are the roaches.
So he's got some broodlords. The goal here is just to try to pick off the roaches, and the broodlords will be easy to surrender on. So you want to save your blink. You can even use defensive blinks against roaches.
Lots of spines.
Okay, yeah, go back and clean up the roaches, then go for the kill.
Oops.
Try not to let him get away if you can. You can even use blink to trap him for you. Force fields are good. Some burrow
Oh,
then
that's
round other way.
bad for him.
So right now you just have to attack immediately before he can bring that. The two options are to go straight for the kill down to his natural, or at this point you can go for top right bases. But I think you should need to cut off his production, so I just go for the main. And work with speeds back at home. Because these keys were a smart warping.
Yeah.
Well.
That's it.
Your warriors have engaged.
So you can even just leave like 2 Zelta to space and send the rest of your army to his natural. Or even DG there.
Yeah.
You're kind of fighting a timer. If you let him get, 10 broodlords, you're kind of dead. Unless they're alone. Just 10 broodlords with no infestors, you're okay.
That way you can just blink under him, right?
Yeah, exactly. And your stalkers have 3 armor, he probably doesn't have any attachment rates on it, so. Yeah, don't even worry about his third, that's mined out. Where are he? He's gotta be morphing a lot of broodlords somewhere.
There they are. They're up on the ridge.
Alright,
Blink
versus
up there.
that,
Blink up there. Or no?
Yeah, blink up there, focus him down.
Oh, there the
He's got
infestors.
infestors too. Yeah, yours.
Oh, that's a lot of breath.
That's too many. If you can back away, your best shot is to run away and build a Stargate somewhere.
But
With your main army, hit the top right.
Oh, you can grab them now. Oh, no, maybe not.
Even if
Maybe not.
leave me alone,
there's just
bully.
Yeah. Wow, he's only at 118 supply, but they're all like broodlords, though.
yeah, how many prisons do you have? Like 20 or something?
Yeah.
Broodlords are so supply efficient here.
Yeah.
At least the DTs are killing broodlords.
That's true. Alright, why don't we want to GG this and play another one?
So here, I mean, the main thing to work in was just getting that SimCity set up at the third early with a bunch of cannons. Because
Yeah.
he did a lot of good harass there. And also, there's a point when you lost about 20 probes in your main because roaches ran in there.
All right. Well, why don't we do it again? Like, I just
Yeah.
want to really hammer it out with.
Okay.
I think it'll probably benefit Julia the most if we just keep doing it.
Yep.
And sorry guys, but we're just gonna keep having him play too, because it's different opponent. Kind of, all of a sudden start mixing things in, which
Yeah.
it's harder. So thanks to Winehouse for helping us out. And guys, if you like what you see, if you like the show and everything, please follow the stream and follow me on Twitter, because I always tweet all the updates to the show. And I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
xSixAiluj, where are you at? You're already in. Okay, cool.
So one thing that can help on this map for this dirty run by is you could have put your gateway one notch lower, and then your second pylon could go on the other side of the ramp to help make the wall a little bit narrower. And that way the
Okay.
Syrians have a little bit of a hard time running by.
Well,
Or
my
look.
gate was late too, though, right? So
Yeah.
just everything would have been a little bit better.
All right, we're
You're-
staying with you, Winehouse. All right, here we
And
go.
also, this time try going up to 17 food before you get to Nexus.
Okay.
Or it's just everything comes a little bit faster if you get the probes early than they're mining minerals. So
Yeah. I will do better.
Yes, that's the goal, right? So, it's a little rust. First game, right?
yeah, it's also tough doing maybe I don't know if you play this style very often. So it's
Oh, it's always different having somebody new telling you
yeah.
what to do and think. And I haven't been practicing PvZ a lot lately, even though I have always deemed it to be my worst matchup. For some reason, I've just been practicing against Terran a lot, so
Right. Now, the cool thing, one cool thing about the way like Nick coaches that I really really like is that he you don't do so much like telling them what to do, like
Yeah.
kind of puppeteering. It's like how I like to call it, more so
Yeah, it can be
than
distracting sometimes.
yeah. You kind of give them general things, and there's even when mistakes are happening, you don't really say, oh no, you need to probe and all this stuff. So it's kind of it's nice actually, because you
it's
let
nice to not be scolded.
well, not just that, he lets you think too.
Yeah.
While you're playing, which is cool.
Yeah.
Well, generally, I think that makes things worse if you keep, as long as they know they're supposed to be making probes. If you keep yelling,
Yeah.
I've been on the other side of that many times back in high school sports, and
Sucks.
you just get frustrated, and then you do it even worse, and then
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
as long as you know what you should be working on or focusing on it, that's all that is really important.
Okay, so this game, let's focus on probes again and just getting that third base secured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those were the two things.
So the mark to take it is try to have it start around the 11-minute mark, ideally.
My third.
Yeah, you're third.
Alright.
And if you want, you could even cut the War Prism out of the build. It's not really necessary. Most Zergs are good enough that it won't really do too much. It's just kind of a...
I like the idea of it, but maybe I'll practice everything
Yeah.
else first.
Yeah, I think that's better. It's also, yeah, most of the time it won't even do too much. It's just, if you get bored, some people get bored during the game. Gives you something to do.
When you get
Yeah.
bored, wow. Okay. Get bored and need some actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is, it can almost be more reliability a lot of times than help,
Yeah, if you don't end up using it, right, then it's...
Or if you're not, if when you're using it, you're messing up macro, because you're busy doing that, and it's not even doing
Yeah.
that much damage.
Yeah.
When should gases go down?
I take him after the gateway, second pylon, then gases.
Okay. So I should have put that down already.
Well, it's
like
usually
me.
it's second pylon, then cannon, then like one gas. Just make sure you get the cannon, the instant that. Try to put it. If it's there already, don't cancel it. But in the future, put it to the left of the gateway instead of above it, because right now it can't actually reach the bottom of that ramp.
Right.
So you can even maybe build a second cannon below that pylon that just finished or something.
There are those Zerglings again.
So here, yeah, make sure you're constantly building probes with these Zerglings. It's better to lose one or two than... What you can do is you can trap them if they run after a hurt probe. Yeah, like that, exactly. You run a probe through the middle line if they follow, you can surround them.
Oops.
So make sure you're also progressing your attacks. You want to start that Psycore.
I buy one Zergling. Yeah, 2 Zerglings are pretty much not even a threat.
No.
It's pretty hard to kill anything with 2 Zerglings, actually.
So make sure you're clearing out probes. Make sure your worker... You know, anytime you're being harassed, whether it's by Terran drops or by, you know, Zergs, mutas, or Zerglings running around, as soon as you're kind of have a moment of thought, make sure your worker distribution's good, your gas income's good. Because often the first thing when you're moving probes around is to get your gas and that stuff, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, you got that all fixed. Every time Terran drops me, I find out 10 minutes later I never put my guys back on gas. You need some pylons too here.
You're right. You are right.
So when you have a moment like this is a time to make your worker distribution so you never have to think about it again, right? You know, when you're kind of supply stuck, you're not doing anything. Yeah, you can shoot the right point, that works, yeah. So this time, you know, Chrono Boost and Observer out first, and then an Immortal / start Robo support.
Okay.
You probably also want to shift
Stupid
the
Zergling, get the hell out of my life.
There you go.
Got it.
Upgrade complete.
Probes finally got a kill.
Where is that pro? Where is that one pro? There he is.
Research complete.
To 5 gigs. Here, you want to make sure that Robo's Chrono Boosted properly, and then otherwise, probes or warp gates are both fine.
Okay.
Pro.
Alright, so you got some Zerglings in the middle.
Still no
Yeah.
speed. He just doesn't like to get speed.
Yeah, you guess it pretty late.
Yeah.
That probably means it's probably got to be roaches, because if it was meteor and faster, they'd have speed.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, you can never assume things like that. It's probably like that, but... Okay, when you
never
see the
know.
roach warren wiggling like that, it means he's researching. When a little, like, guy keeps popping out
Yeah.
of the... So it's a researching, like, Zergs will always get the roach warren. That's an on. So I'd rebuild an observer, Chrono Boost it. And you can actually start moving out, take your third right now if you want.
Yeah.
I wouldn't move the units out because if he has a ton of units, you know, you don't want to risk losing a sentry. It's big to start the Nexus. Worst case, you can also lose 100 minerals, right? It's not a big deal
Yeah.
at all. But if you're able to, you know, get up 4 cannons there and then defend that, that's huge. So if he doesn't, you know,
Okay, so you're pretty much hitting that 11-minute timing, so that's good.
yep.
Oh, he's killing
sure-
it. What a
Alright.
jerk.
Start that Nexus.
Yep.
Well, he just killed the rock.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
yeah.
Right.
So you want to just chrono out that Colossi. So I saw about 13 roaches there. That's enough that you can move out, and if your force shields are good, you can kill them, especially with constantly warping in more units. You can even warp in some Zealots. Zealots aren't actually that bad at this point in the game. Later on in the later fights they get bad, but right now they're fine. And if you can just get a pylon up, you can throw down a bunch of cannons there, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
You probably want your units a little more protected, so I'd put them.
Here.
Yeah. So he's splitting the army, so you're gonna have to cancel your Nexus again. Probably that's okay. If you can kill all these roaches for a Nexus cancel, that's fine. Just try to trap and don't let him run. Yeah, don't let him run through the forge.
He loves the forge.
Yeah.
That's smart. Upgrades are huge.
So yeah, this isn't even that bad. As long as you keep making units, keep your macro going, and instantly rebuild that third as soon as you cancel it.
Yeah, you have a lot of minerals, so you could throw down a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
The gateways and the
It's mostly just missing the warp and timings.
Oh shoot, he's still there. Shoot.
Get the fuck out.
There you go. Start that pylon, dude. There you go.
I know I'm pleasant.
We're still doing fine, right?
Yeah, you should be able to hold these roaches. Don't run your army back. With the warp and the stalkers, you should be able to hold these. Just run the probes and the stalkers deal with them. You can chrono boost your gateways. If you lose a robo, you can build 2 back to kind of one-up them. Make sure you're rebuilding that forge somewhere too. So you need some force fields here in the front. Yeah, good job. Did the roaches burrow or did you kill them?
No, I think he killed them. Well, they're still in the back there. But
Yeah, they did burrow.
did that? Oh, well, I guess they do have the spikes. Yeah.
So just make sure you're calculating your warp and timings, right?
I'm here in the shadows.
There, okay, but it's got him.
Get some
as
cannons
soon as-
down. Yeah.
Okay, you got 2 forges now. That's good. So build a bunch of cannons.
Bunch
and
of
you can-
cannons, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you can use your gas to get sentries. You want to rebuild sentries. So you want to have like 5 sentries in your army if you can.
Your probes are under attack. Base is under attack.
You're also going to need mine a lot more gas too. So try to mine the gas of your main, the gas of your third. Yeah, good. Your robos going. That's good. Upgrades are going. That's good too. So you can move some guys from natural to your main. Oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So we're dealing with this, build even more cannons at that third. 2's not going to hold a determined roach attack. So throw down like 6 more, right?
Base is under attack. Your probes are under attack.
And while we're waiting for this cancel building, you just warp into your third to hold. Yeah, perfect.
There you go. Fine.
Good job with the pro production there. I broke through. Here.
Yeah, this style's so tough. You gotta get one of those fronts just
Locked down, yeah.
locked down, or else
If you
it's
get a woolen with like 4 cannons behind it, that usually. So if you can get observed with your army, that'll help for Sakuro. You can't really afford to attack now. Then we defeat approach rally.
Well, I mean, if I was just doing a practice hit game against a friend at this point, I would probably give up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't we rerun?
yeah.
I think that's what we're gonna work on.
You're in trouble here. That game, it looked actually a lot cleaner than last game, to be honest. It was just he was playing a lot stronger as well, so don't feel like you did worse than the last game. I think you did a little stronger.
Thank you.
The main thing there was just you missed a couple warping cycles.
Yeah.
So that's just something to get in
Alright.
the habit of every 30 seconds.
Okay, one more with Winhouse, and then actually I did promise with this other guy to play once, so we're gonna have to get him in once. Rex Chapman. Didn't realize I was like, actually I was looking for a different name for him earlier, so didn't realize that was his name. But so okay, last chance to get back at this guy.
This also is actually one of
Uh-oh.
the harder maps to defend a third on.
Oh, is it? We could do a
yeah.
different one. Yeah, let's just keep doing it. We just
Yeah.
since we've already started, obviously. Oh, I thought this would be a little bit easier one. I guess I'm wrong.
It's Metal's one of the easier ones. You know, Entombed is obviously easiest. Cloud Kingdom's easier. The thing with this one is that spot between your natural and your third is so open.
I've been practicing again. I guess mostly Terran and Zerg again on Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah, that's a pretty good map for this build.
I actually have
yeah.
Antigua downvoted. I think I never use it.
Well, you're getting some practice on it now.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's good.
It's not a bad Protoss map though, right?
No, two base Olins are really strong in this map.
Yeah.
Which is what most people go Blink Olin or the Immortal Olin's pretty popular here. Because you can, if you kill the rocks at a third and you get in that area, the Zerg
Yeah.
can't get service around you.
Right. It's hard for Zerg to get a 4th base on this map.
Yep.
Excellent.
The most common build on this one, if you, at the pro level they have such good blink micro, they usually do blink pressured and take a late third behind some really aggressive blink play. Just because attacking that third with the angle you can blink up and down the cliffs and stuff is just so strong for blink. There's also, you can be really annoying with putting pylons for all those Olins. You can hide pylons at the main that's right by the third. But for now, we're just trying to practice the defense. Defending the mass roaches.
Alright.
So the other thing this game is let's try to get the robo faster. Because by the 11-minute mark, if you can have a Colossi with range almost done, that helps so much.
Okay.
Because those really, the roaches can kind of run around the rest of the army with 9 range. When they try to run around, you burn them, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Meld. I prefer.
No,
There you
exactly.
go.
Also, I think once you get a little bit more practices, you can probably measure out how many, like what you can hold with a warpin and not, right? Like,
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
really important actually in this holding these 2-prong attacks, man.
So know when you need to chase an army and
Yeah.
we need to just send a couple units after, but maybe like 4 stalkers plus 6 more warped in, it'll
Yeah.
do the job.
Exactly.
And that's actually true no matter what build you do. Those things are actually harder with the other builds.
Alright, got that probe out.
Yeah, it's good.
Just delay this too, which is huge because pretty much all the Zergs are taking the third as their naturals in this scenario, right?
Make sure to get that forge. I usually get it at 17 because you're gonna cut it a little bit dangerous here with Zerglings.
Your probes are under attack.
I'm an idiot.
The pylon should buy you time. He'll probably go to the pylon first.
Base is under attack.
That's not a wall though.
That's alright.
That'll
Yeah,
be my
'cause you-
opening.
Yeah, you want to hold me anyway, so. Probably put your second pylon on the right side, and then your cannon should go like right below the gateway, maybe.
Okay.
And then I think a sidecar can wall in between the gateway and that pylon. Should be okay.
Look at that 19th probe I got. Love it.
Perfect.
Nice.
So make sure you get that cannon that forge finishes. Yeah. And sometimes I would even send that probe out to do a second scout. Make sure you took a third, and also it can distract as Zerglings a bit sometimes.
Alright.
And often you
There
can
he
stay
is.
alive as well. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. About like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Come
you're
back!
Oh, he faked.
No!
Oh, he's gonna go out. Oh, that's the couple.
He actually could have killed the cannon.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Before Zerglings, he could have.
Alright, so
The cannon was about 10 seconds late there, and that was just, the forge was all late.
Yeah, so it's almost out then. There you go.
You can put your scout probe back too if you want. You don't want to worry about it anymore.
Oh, here, sell it.
Alright, so make sure you're chrono boosting probes here and get the Psycore.
Nice.
I have a couple
Micro.
probes help if you want.
Yeah.
That's a trap. So for now, keep that zealot in the mineral line. It's probably the best thing to do. Uh-oh, they're coming for him.
They want him.
Even just the gas probes alone with the zealot would hold that. And once he regenerates his shield, he can actually just probably kill him all on his own. Oh, maybe not.
Alright, so Robo right when the Psychor finishes, right?
Yep. Make sure you get pylon. Good job.
There you go.
Robo Warcrane and Sentry. The Sentry can help chase down these Zerglings if they're still being annoying. Oh, looks like the Zerglings are all gonna die here.
Yeah. They really want that Zealot, unfortunately.
One more hit would have
I
got
know, 4 hit points.
So keep chrono boosting probes here. With this build, you gotta get a lot of probes. If you want, you could send one of those zealots out to the middle, just to take the power.
Alright, so next checkpoint is the gateways, right?
Yeah. Make sure you're building probes, though. The gateways are less important than workers. You can just cancel a gate. It's worth it to get the kill out, yeah.
It's a weird spot they come out of, even with your rally the way it is. That's,
It's pleasant. I like
actually
it.
makes no sense. That's crazy.
So make sure that Robo, Immortal and support pay too when you get money. Also, you're not mining from that other gas in your natural. Actually, you figured it out right before I said it.
One more gate too, is that right?
Yeah, one more gate.
There you go.
Your probes are under attack.
Aw.
And when you add more pylons, add about those 4 gates, because a lot of times they're roaches by. If they only see one pylon there, they'll focus those.
So what's your reaction be when you see like the 4th so early?
There is no real reaction. It doesn't actually matter. If they want to take, I mean, that's not even that early for a 4th.
Yeah.
And the Zerg won't have enough drones to really use it. It's more to more gas income.
I see.
Upgrade complete.
Like if you're going for 2 base timing, you just cancel it. And they actually wouldn't really change your play either, except you're missing your macro hatch probably.
Yeah.
So that move is risky for a Zerg. If they have to cancel over 2 base timing, then without the macro hatch, your production be slower. But versus this build, it's really
Colossi. There you go.
Yep. So as soon as that Colossi is out, well, actually even a little bit, yeah, you're gonna have to wait for he's out. So it'll be a little bit later, 11 minutes. You could actually, I don't know how many roaches were out there. You could try and move out with just one more warping. And the Colossi catch up to you. But make sure to keep the probes going so you can actually use that third.
Gotta start it though, right?
Yep. Start it. And you want to move your yeah, exactly, your main back to there.
Oh, there's a roach right there waiting. Oh, he ran right by him. Nice.
That roach will regret being there.
Yeah, exactly. Start that pylon.
So now for you can even let your gateways go idle a bit. Only warp in
here we
sentries
go.
and then let them go idle, and that way you build up minerals to build cannons here. Oh yeah.
Cancel it. There you go.
There you go. And you should make just
I deselected my stupid fucking arm.
most important thing here is patience, right? If that happens, just instantly rebuild it and don't let it worry you too much. Gotta keep making probes, so.
Upgrade complete.
Should move the army a little bit closer to the ramp there. It's
Yeah.
kinda right in between, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't. It's a little bit scary. Sometimes you don't want to get like surrounded by roaches. But
Yeah.
as long as you can go down that depression, you're okay.
Right. Got little chokes right there.
I wouldn't split your army up like that though. I think that's a little bit risky. Okay, there's roaches up at the top. It's fine if they split the roaches if you can kill one half and the other half does damage.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh.
One more. Oh, no, that's too many roaches.
That was
That was terrible.
Yeah, it's too many.
So you can just force fill on the ramp and force it in. There you go. Just watch other quads, I realize the important thing here.
Base is under attack.
Ah, forge. Nom nom nom.
Oh, that's good.
Get your warping in, you just... Even if it's Zealots are better than, you know...
All right. Well, he did that. He did that a little better too.
Yeah, well, it was more, like I said, it's a little risky when the team is that far to the right, because you can get cut off from your natural. You'd much rather get cut off from your third than cut off from your natural.
I see.
Like, if you had perfect force fields, you could have killed that, but it's... You know, you can only afford to let, like, 6 roaches get in on you, because you didn't have, Maybe if you had, like, one more warp in its zealots, that would have buffered the sentries, so you could have let roaches get in, but... That's tough.
All right. How about one more? And why don't we have Nick walk us through one more time, just so we can get it really clean, or just see it done clean once. Where was that guy? It's a new guy too, so figured it'd be. Oh, that's okay with you, Julie. I mean, if you want to play, Julie. I mean, would it be better if do you still want to play this one, or?
I would not mind seeing him do it again if that was what you were planning.
I'm okay either way. I just wasn't sure if you were like you played 3 in a row there, so I figured it might be good to have a break.
Yeah, I would like to watch again.
Okay, cool.
So after this, we could try having her play on like Cloud Kingdom too. That's a map that's a little easier than this one. Or like Metalopolis or Metropolis. This actually is one of the harder maps.
Okay, we can switch it. Let me switch it since we're doing something new here. So Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah, Cloud Kingdom Cloud Kingdom's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely both of the bases are a lot easier to defend with the same army. Okay.
The problem with Antigua is it's hard to engage Zerg in that spot between the bases. So you kind of have to you kind of pick one of them to defend, another one to kind of sacrifice until you get it really
Right.
defended. Whereas like the only time I've seen a Protoss take a third faster in the map and defend it well was I saw a game Hero did it when he had 6 cannons on each side. And he had a warp prism shuttling the mortals between the two, so whichever one.
That sounds easy.
Yeah, no, it's. Yeah, I mean, what he did is he totally gave up the low ground, right? He figured there's no way you're gonna beat roaches there; it's too open. So I'm just gonna build a lot of cannons, both at the ramp of a natural and at the third, and use the warp prism to shuttle mortals.
Right.
So 6 cannons, like 5 sentries at each side, and then immortal shuttling. But that's so hard to pull off. Only only someone with insane micro can do that.
Yeah, I mean that last one. I mean, I think it was just a matter of like the force just being just a little bit closer. I think it would have turned out a lot differently.
Yeah,
and
it would have held it out, but like if the forces were closer, he still could have backed away and gone to the natural.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's the tricky part. It would have kept the army alive though, which is the ideal thing. As long as your army stays alive, you're okay.
Right. Because that's the key moment, right? Because once you hold that, then you pretty much lock the third down.
Yeah. Although if the roaches run a natural and you have to chase them.
Yeah, well, that's true.
The rally can get you.
Okay, so let's go to your.
This map is much easier though, because you just have to watch out for that one ramp, and then with your nexus as part of your wall at your third, like it can you defend by the nexus, and there's not much surface area roaches can get.
Oh, I see. That's true.
So this is a little more ideal map. One thing here also is because it's easier to defend, you just have to know which way they're coming. I often get a couple observers, so I actually have less robo units, and I'll park one observer. Well, I'll show you this games. it's hard to kind of say the exact spot where you park it. So I'll do this one without the warp prism because I think it's actually. Usually when I do this, I don't even get it all that often. Sometimes I do. It's nice to have late game though.
Yeah.
You can just worry about it then.
Yeah, feel free to pepper him with questions, Julia, because he's good at playing and talking. Actually,
Yeah.
Probes are under
I
attack.
noticed.
he's one of the few.
So that wasn't ideal there. I need to.
Yeah.
This is I don't always pylon block with this here because if I can keep blocking the drone with my probe and not like if you pylon block you delay the forge, right, which can be dangerous. So sometimes I try to block with a probe, and if I can block long enough, then I can pylon block after the forge. That's really nice.
You ever throw there's no reason to throw a pylon up at the third, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's Zerglings
I mean,
are pretty much out by then.
If the Zerglings run to your main, you do it and it slows down to third. Or if you only make 2.
Yeah.
But he's been making 4 the last games, so it's hard to tell.
Your probes are under attack.
Oops, I actually realized I totally forgot to get my cannon. That's alright.
Your probes are under
You
attack.
can do an emergency wall in here if I need to.
Your probes are under attack.
I normally don't like to make a full wall in, but as long as you get the money.
Your probes are under attack.
That probe stayed alive for a long time too. So.
That always helps.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's only one Zergy chasing it, so that's why I was still kind of worried.
Oh right.
If he ran straight to me, he probably would have gotten in. 'Cause I wasn't always fully enough money to block. I was being a little bit greedy there. You know, sometimes I get extra probe where I probably should have not. But it's not that in the world if a couple of Zergies get in. Like that last game, I don't think it was game deciding at all.
Yeah, that's true. And you got 4 in too, and
Yeah,
yeah, Julia handled it, or Iluj handled it pretty well.
yeah, she did. So I mean, the Robo's not gonna be right when the Psychor finishes. It is if you get a Psychor a little bit later than it is, but here it's gonna be a little bit. You never want to cut probes, so this game I got a Psychor, you know, right on time.
Highlight for ice.
I guess what's the latest point where you have to get the third up? Like I've noticed that you've been really
You must
a lot of times you've actually said it's okay, like to have to cancel it and start again, cancel and start again. But what's the absolute latest time that you just have to, like even if it means being desperate about it?
There is no specific time. All depends what you're doing. The latest time is like 1 minute before they transition out of Roach. So
Okay.
you can't really know that, right?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
Depends on what they have.
Yeah.
yeah. It'll like you don't know when they're gonna transition out of Roach, and so it's all like you're never never leave the game and never like go crazy desperate to try and take it, because if you know, it's always better to preserve your army than to take it.
Okay.
You must construct additional pylons.
So I'm actually delaying the plus 1 weapons a bit here. I don't know if that's she was getting a little bit earlier, but she also got
Yeah.
that. You got the like I'm doing a little bit of everything just a little bit faster, and I got my gases at the natural a little bit later needed. So that's not a big difference though.
Okay. I know I was always getting in and I meant to ask if that was okay or...
Yeah, no, it's fine. You always had a little bit extra resources. This game, I
Yeah.
never.
That's the only reason I did get it.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have.
Right.
Like I'm gonna spend my next 100 gas on it.
I return to serve.
All right. We're checking it out.
Wasn't really controlling that observer very well, was I?
Just about to ask you about it. You just waiting to see if Roach is coming out, or?
Yeah, I was just.
It's a timid observer, okay? They happen.
Exactly.
Don't hurt his feelings.
Lunch break.
Last thing here is when you see he's only on 3 gas, or he's at least not on 6, he might be on 5, I guess. He's probably not doing a fast tech. Eva Chambers going, yeah, the Roach. So now, when you see the Roach war moving, he's just gonna make some some commitment to the roaches.
So you won't get aggressive until you have your third fully up and running?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This isn't. As long as you go in roaches, you're like never aggressive, basically. Just doing
Twice.
something else. Yeah.
That's why it's so hard.
Yeah. Thing is, roaches are so cost efficient, but they're just very not food efficient. So you just want to kind of stall out the game to the point where they have 200 food roaches, but your army is worth so much more. 'Cause it's 150 food of units that would be about 300 food roaches, and there's no way they can have 300 food just because.
Yeah.
Well, that would break the game. that'd be like when roaches are one food, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was crazy time.
Yeah.
Crazy time.
So I like to throw, sometimes I just throw it out on that tower and just sit around now just to, oops, I was a little bit too close there.
Yeah.
Just to keep an eye on it.
And that rock and this ramp are why it's so much easier too.
Yeah. I mean, that rock will die.
Yeah.
It'll continue to protect it, but...
Still, it stalls just a little bit of time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna protect it, so...
I've never noticed that changelings, like what it looks like when it dies like that. It's funny.
Yeah. So at this point, there's going to be some idle time on the gateways, and that's just because you want to spend your minerals on cannons, and you want to develop maybe a couple more sentries. Maybe start your Twilight Council. Once you'd rather get cannons than units, kind of, at a certain point. They're just a little more efficient. You want to keep an idea on what he's doing. So I know he got roach speed, but the roaches are kind of idle, which is...
Research complete.
normally I'd expect them to be heading out a little bit sooner.
There he goes.
Yeah, it's a little bit later. The other guy was moving out more on the 11-minute mark, so it's going to be about a minute.
Yeah.
Minute.
It felt like he was moving out probably in an inject earlier, just
Yeah.
so he
yeah.
like repopulated as he was doing it.
At this point, I'm actually going to move the observer back, and I'm going to put one in each entrance. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my defense at just natural. It helps a lot. As soon as you know they're coming to roaches, so you know you're not. All you have to do is defend, and you're in good shape. There's no problem getting too many. Probably could have gone that off a little faster. There's no, you can't have too many cannons really. Well, as long as you have as long as you don't have like 20 or something. That's probably
19 is okay though.
19 is probably okay, but
19 is just right. All right, here we go. Yeah, he seems to have fewer. He's not doing the double
Yeah.
prong thing either. That's much harder.
although on this map with your army, you can do things like I could hold an attack just with these units probably in warpins, right? Because you can just throw down force fields here.
Right. There we go. There's the double prong, and there go the roaches.
So the one side's a little bit weaker, but you can just use your warping on the weaker side, right? So it's not at all a problem.
Nice.
Now at this point, I probably could just go kill him.
Yeah, so it feels like game at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is it's not actually a good move to kill him, because if I wait 2 minutes, I'll be at 200 food with a really developed army, and 2 minutes is not going to help him as much as it's going to help me waiting.
Comes more roaches. 3 colossi spells really bad for roaches.
A little bit sloppy there with the Colossi control, but sometimes you let him kill a couple just to give him hope, right? We'll see.
Just to make it more entertaining.
No, that was just bad
Yeah.
control there. So I think I got a second forge summary I already did. It's just nice to get double upgrades in. Here you can move to the 4th. You have this observer, make sure he's not countering.
Okay, so what's the logic behind taking the 4th, like timing of the 4th?
You must construct
You take it when you're maxed.
Oh.
I'm gonna take it a little bit earlier probably, but
Okay.
Or when you have so much money, you just don't know what to do with it.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. It's better to have a 4th than to have a lot of money in the bank. Probably should be getting blinked too. We're just gonna go get rid of some of these creep tumors here. And I should be sending What's my hockey's got shaked up there? That's just really bad.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good attack by him.
Yeah. Well, losing to Colossi, you know, soccer Immortal gets rolled by.
Yeah.
Just like I'm saying that you should always backlane around the force fields, and I kind of violated that rule, so. You know, I'm kind of pained.
It's like
That's
perfect
kind of
surround.
scary,
What a
actually.
pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pervert.
There's been plenty of. I've lost plenty of won games from doing that, where you move out and you just want to end the game, and you forget that you never want to move out versus Roach.
Well, you just look away for a second, and Colossus stays behind to kill the larva or whatever.
Yeah. Although even there, even if the Colossi were with me, I still lost that fight.
Yeah.
Would have been closer, but 2-3 Colossi would not have changed the outcome.
Yeah.
There.
Especially when they're on both sides of you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still hold this, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still winning, probably. So at this point, you like to warp in Zealots, because you know whatever you warp in is just going to be taking shots and being the meat shield. Yeah. Zealots also do the best DPS
Yeah.
out of every Protoss unit, including Immortals and Colossi. Per cost, anyways. Not for food. That was dumb to chase him there, too. Don't want to trade. Don't want to trade with roaches if you can help it. Unless you're trading Zealots in the front, but then you just back away.
When you lose them.
Yeah. Try to bring them to the cannons, because those are...
That's
like
a lot.
forces, don't they? Now I got some Colossi, so
That'll help.
yeah. Once I get these,
Still hasn't touched your economy at all, so...
yeah, so I'm still good.
Yeah, as long as you get rid of this.
And I mean, once I get 4 Colossi, it gets to the point where as long as I don't do what I did last time, he can't win anymore with the type team as he has. What I like to do is after 4 Colossi, I'll switch into Immortals, because then there's a certain point when Corruptors start to become super cost efficient against Colossi, is when you get enough Colossi that they can afford to get that many Corruptors, they can start one-shotting them. Then you don't want to get to that point, because
And then you're just encouraging broodlords.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you want to get some Colossi, but you don't want to get too many, because if they go overboard in Corruptors, you want to just be able to smash them with, you know, your mortal Blink Stalker army is the goal. So this time I'll wait till I max out before I move out, which should last me without like a 160, which is too impatient. I'm long distance mining too, just because my main kind of ran out. So it's the disadvantage of long distance mining. It's a little bit risky. Like you might lose the workers. Advantage is you get money. So.
Right. Viewers, we're going to start Q&A after this game, so start writing me on Skype. ID ChanmanV. Okay.
So as soon as I get this Warp Prism, I'm gonna go end the game, and that'll be it's building right now. I always like to tackle the Warp Prism. One of the most important things is always to be able to warp in. So if you're not defending, and building proxy pylons slows you down so much, and Warp Prism, especially at this point in the game when it's not a big price, is just a much better option.
Kind of hard with all this creep, too. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't even build proxy pylons. So I just clear out some creep, and then I'll wait for. You know, normally, like I said, you're supposed to wait till max, but sometimes you just gotta kill some creep.
Right.
Just so
That
you
should
can
be on a shirt.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta kill some creep. Perfect.
Exactly. That does sound like a good one. Alright, there's those corruptors you were talking about.
Yeah. But the thing is, even if he kills, you know, he's gonna kill all my...
Yeah, he's gonna lose all the corruptors, though.
Yeah, backing out the roaches was a mistake, because now I didn't have to micro those.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Actually, we're just gonna charge after him here and warping some guys over. So normally I send Warp Prism with the army, but sometimes it depends. If they're Hive Tech, you want to split it up. If they're Lair Tech, like he's doing right now, you normally want to keep the Warp Prism with the army.
I see.
Just because you don't want to spread out the battle against roaches, right? You want smaller surface area. Whereas against Broodlords, it's the opposite. So versus Broodlords, you warp in somewhere else, and they have to deal with, you know, Broodlords are slow, right? Versus roaches,
GG. Nice.
Like actually, you saw the warp didn't even do much because he just sent 4 roaches there. But
All right. Well, I think that concludes the playing portion. Hopefully, Julia, you picked up some good stuff there.
Yeah, I'm gonna save these replays and watch them. Thank you.
Yep.
I think you will have much better luck playing on Cloudkin than Antigua.
Yeah, I just end up putting you on the hardest one, like not knowing.
It's okay. It's okay. I can only go up from here.
That's my vantage point for being a Zurich,
Yeah.
thinking that Protoss isn't so good on that map, but I guess not. But yeah, why don't we go into Q&A? But before we go into Q&A, I wanted to announce to the viewers that we will be working with TT Esports, doing giveaways, like moving forward, at least for the next few weeks. So I wanted to announce it on this show. We're not going to be doing a giveaway this show, but we will be doing one on Thursday for a Saphira mouse, the White Raw mouse with the mouse pad. And it's $100 mouse, so check it out. It's a really, really good mouse. And we'll be doing the giveaways, and the way you're going to enter it is by following me on Twitter or retweeting, I guess, the show tweet on Thursday. And just everybody that's followed or retweeting will be entered in, and I'll just randomly pick. I'll probably have our guest Thursday will be Nurchio, so I'll just have him just randomly choose like a number or something, and then we will pick a winner, and the winner will win the mouse pad. But in the next few weeks, we'll be doing these kind of giveaways for mouses and mouse pads and keyboard bags too, since I know a lot of you guys probably haven't bought a keyboard bag, would probably like one. I know. I wouldn't have bought one if I went to MLG, but it's kind of cool to have one though. So figured it'd be kind of cool. But
TT Esports, man.
yeah,
Winners.
TT Esports is man, guys, support TT Esports, guys, because they've been supporting a lot of cool projects, and obviously supporting my project. Kind of a grassroots small project. It's really, really cool of them. So support them, please. Okay, so let's start some Q&A. How's that sound? Okay, I'm adding a bunch of people. Here we go. Oh man. Okay, I'm skipping that guy first. Let's start off with the Rex first. Okay, let me change the overlay a little bit. Oh god, overlay screwed up. Great. I'll fix the overlays, guys. Rex, where are you? How do I switch this? Jeez.
Hey guys.
It's like a puzzle.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going, Rex? You got a question for xSixAiluj and Iluj?
Yeah, so my girlfriend is actually also named Julia and blonde and plays StarCraft.
Oh my god, she must be so cool.
But I was wondering, Julia, if you have other friends who are girls who you play StarCraft with, or if not, like, have you tried to get some of your other friends who are girls to play with you, and like, what's the reaction been?
Usually when I talk about gaming to girlfriends, I mean, like when I first start talking about it, they don't know if I'm being serious or not. And my closer girlfriends have learned to accept it, and they don't judge me, and they're supportive of it, but not necessarily interested themselves. Most of the girls that I know that play, I don't know in real life, or I met them through StarCraft first, and then I met them at MLGs or things like that. It's not easy. I don't know why it's so. I mean, I guess if you just didn't grow up playing video games, it just seems really foreign to people to get into, right? Like
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's funny because it's so hard to get females to play, but I feel like female gamers are really important to growing the community too. So it's kind of this chicken egg thing right now, I think.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I mean, people always say, like, you must have a bunch of girlfriends that play, right? And I really don't. Like, there's the Girls of StarCraft group on Facebook, and there's at least 300 members there, maybe 400 closer to now. And a lot of them play, but they're really not people I've ever met. I have a really good friend in back at home, and she plays Call of Duty. But
right.
But RTS, man, it's advanced shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my girlfriend too sometimes feels uncomfortable, like, or she'll like pretend to be a guy and be like, "Yeah, dude, it's like online on the ladder."
Oh, you
Cool.
boys are mean. I'm not gonna lie. And if you're not mean, then you want naked pictures.
That's
But
deserved,
tell your
yeah.
girlfriend good luck, and yeah, she should join the group, Girls of StarCraft group on Facebook too, because everybody's really supportive on there, and if you can be as involved or not involved in that community as you want, and it's nice to
Yeah.
have support from other women.
I mean, do you think it's
Right.
just our generation? Like, do you think that there's kind of more girl gamers like up and coming?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like when I first started playing, like the only girls I really knew of were Megumi and Flo. And I think the first MLG I played in, there were 3 girls competing, and the one before that, there was probably maybe 2 or 3.
Right.
This past one in Columbus, there were 5.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, so I think
Huh.
I think it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah. All right, Rex. Thanks for the question.
Hey,
We got a
thank
bunch
y'all.
of other people, so we got to get to them.
Yep,
All right.
see ya.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Next up, we got. Oh, man. God. We got. Let's see what his real name is. Hey, you there? Hello, hello, hello.
My question is for Julia. Would you get implants if you had enough money?
All right. Bye.
My PayPal is
Nice. Okay, we got another question from Sam Gonzalez. Legit questions, please, guys. Sam. Who were the 5 that were there?
it was myself, Lady Insanity.
Oh,
I think she plays Zerg. Miss Spite plays Zerg.
yeah, Corinne. Yeah.
Flo, and Live in Pink. So
Oh.
2 Terran, 2 Zerg, and myself.
Okay, cool. Sam's not there. Let's see, Dakota. Get some callers. Why does it keep doing this? God, this guy's so annoying.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Dakota. Got a question
Hi.
for xSixAiluj or Iluj?
Yeah, like, how many sentries is too many sentries when they're just going for that mass roach style?
I guess I'll answer this one. There really isn't too many sentries. It's just you might have too few other units. So,
Yeah.
6 is always a good number to have. But if you notice like you're getting harassed and you're losing a lot of workers, but you keep your gases filled, but your minerals are going lower, you might end up with a lot more sentries just because you have a lot of extra gas and they're as good as other units. But they lose their efficiency as far as worth 100 gas each past 6
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
Okay, thanks, Dakota.
Oh,
Oops. No, that's kind of a shoot. All right, Dominic's next.
Yeah.
Oops, there we go.
Come here.
6 is a good answer by Nigel. All right, let's see if we can get a question here, guys. If you want to call in a question, just add me on Skype. ChanmanV is my ID. Hello, Dominic, you there?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
Just a question for xSixAiluj. Lately I'm like mid-masters right now, and lately I've been running into the Stefano kind of style, where you just stay on 3 base and you just make mass roach. What's the best way to deal with that?
So we actually today went over a good way to deal with that. You just, you can delay your third a bit to develop, your colossi count. Because once you get a good number of colossi, plain roaches just aren't gonna cut it anymore against you. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All of a sudden, the Sky background chat all of a sudden went crazy on me.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, but yeah, so the build we did last time was good. There's also a lot of pro dots are experimenting with things. There's some really fast third builds. And then one thing I like to do often is I'll just get like 3 or 4 void rays early out of one Stargate, and I'll take an expansion about the 9:30 mark, or even a 9-minute mark, so a little faster than we were doing. And if you just have enough void rays, they can kind of do work. Sometimes roaches just ignore void rays, but sometimes they do all right. And then it always comes down to good force fields, pretty much, and plenty of cannons. The more cannons, the better. 6 cannons each base, and you're pretty much set.
All right. Thanks for the question. I guess he's gone. That's weird. Okay, we got Tommy next. Tommy Fergus. Probably take about 3 or 4 more. Well, actually, we still got some time, so. Tommy. Hey, Tommy, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? You got a question for these guys?
Yeah, I got a question for Julia. If you had the money, would you get implants?
Suck my dick.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Golly. Come on. Let's see. Here we go. Let's get a...
Just, okay, for everybody who's watching right now and wants to ask that, you send my money. My PayPal is juliatice@gmail.com. You can send me all the money you want, and you'll see if I have enough money, if I get it or not. Okay? Thank you.
Good answer. Okay.
Wow.
Assad.
All these people with the crap questions, man. Oh my god. Okay.
Welcome to
Please ask
Illusion's
something about
stream
something
chat.
about-
Sorry, I had to close my stream.
It's okay.
Basically, I just had a question for xSixAiluj because I'm a huge fan of you. My first question was, are you going to stream more? And I'm having a lot of problems with Terran, like this style, like similar to all these like top Terrans where they just macro out lots of Marines and Marauders. So I don't really know what to do against that. Like if there's any general tips that you have against Terran.
Yeah, so yeah, I haven't been streaming quite as much as I want to. I actually had a plan to stream, 5+ hours every weekday, but I've been having audio problems with my desktop and my laptop. When I stream there, I get like 2-3 seconds delay, and so I can't really play very good games. It's kind of frustrating and not good practice for me. So I was gonna fix it every weekend, but I didn't get around to it. And with IPL coming up, I figure I'll deal with that after IPL. So I plan to get a really solid stream going, at least 20-30 hours a week going after IPL.
Yeah, I'll be excited to tune in. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And then one thing that can help a lot against Terran is I actually find it easier to not go Colossi because Colossi, like especially if you're throwing drops and units everywhere, you're sloppy once, your force fields aren't quite perfect once, and if you think roaches can run in and kill them, Stim Marauders are like roaches on steroids, right? So
yeah, seriously.
I think it's a lot easier just to go for charge lots, and then if they start throwing units everywhere and have all these guys, as long as you have a good number of charge lots, they'll run them down and slice them up, and it's a little bit harder to screw up. So charge lots and armor upgrades are, I think, the easier way to play.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, no more guys, but so we're just gonna take these last, I guess, 5 here, unless they're total BM or total trollers.
And people wonder why there aren't a lot of girls who play games.
Exactly.
Dealing with
this is status quo for Julia's stream. It's crazy. Chad, where are you at?
Right here.
Hey, what's up, buddy? You got a question?
Not much. I take some coaching stuff from xSixAiluj, and
Awesome.
just wanted to give him a little bit of props. He does a great job, and also had a couple questions for him. What do you think you're going to be able to do to improve your Terran game? I know you mentioned a little bit earlier that you're having some problems with stuff. Do you have anything in particular you're going to try to do, or?
Yeah, actually, I've been working a lot against Terran lately, and one of the things I've been figuring out is you kind of need a bunch of these units. You need a bunch of Zealots and Stalkers kind of early on in the game anyway, or else when they come in with 4 medevacs, they can just tear you apart if you try to attack too fast. And so I've been kind of shifting towards a lot of pressure builds, and I was actually talking, Thorzane was talking about how he thinks that's the strongest way too, is because Protoss needs your basic units anyway, so why not get him a little bit earlier, and then go put some pressure, make it Terran pool SCVs, make him build extra bunkers, make him be a little scared, and then you get your upgrades and your Twilight Council just a tiny bit later, because getting upgrades and getting charge is kind of pointless unless you have a big army anyway. So I'm just kind of switching the order in which I build things, trying to take a little more map control already, and then if you do enough damage, you can take a fast third, or at least the Terran's a little worried while you're developing your army instead of sitting back and defending and letting them do what they want to you.
Great.
Second question I had is I've watched MLG stuff like that, and I've been kind of disappointed with the coverage as far as that they're not streaming matches from like open matches and stuff like that. I didn't know if you guys had kind of feel the same, and if there's any way to talk to anybody to put some pressure on them to start streaming some of the other matches and stuff.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I mean, the previous MLGs, when they had the beta stream, that they were streaming open matches, and I feel like there's, like, it's funny because I totally get why they do it on Friday, because it's all about having good content on Friday and having good matches. But there's a moment on Saturday where it's actually more compelling in the losers bracket, the open bracket, where people are playing for their lives and they're big name players too. Mm-hmm. Instead of people playing the pool that are going to be in the tournament no matter what, right? Yeah. So I totally agree with you. I don't know what you guys think, but I would have liked to seen your matches, Nick. Like, for instance, when you're.
I was the exact same way. I mean, I had specifically tuned in and tried to watch the matches from Nick and just didn't see anything. I was pretty disappointed about it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a couple good games there. But I think hopefully, I think if people send them letters and say they want to see some more matches from the the later rounds of the loser bracket, I think that'd be pretty exciting as well. Yeah. And I think especially when they're having multiple streams up now, I can see why their mainstream's got to be the big feature players,
sure.
Right? Dongru. But in the past they only had like 1 or 2 streams, and now often they're running 4 at once. So. Maybe 3 of them, even big name players, and the 4th one, some up and comers in the loser bracket, something like that.
Yep. All right.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right. Thanks, Chet.
Yeah. See you, Nick.
Okay. How about 2 more, and then we'll call it Scott. Scott. There you go. Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Taking him.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, hey there.
My question is for xSixAiluj.
Hey, Scott.
If you had enough money. No, I don't want to get kicked off the stream, but no, I don't really actually have a question. I just wanted to say I watch your stream all the time, and I think you are probably one of the most educational streams out there, and I think you deserve way more viewers than you get, and I hope that you keep it up, and I really enjoy watching your stuff.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
I miss you, Julia. Come home.
I miss you too. Bye.
All right, that was nice. Okay, last one, guys. Sorry, we can't get everybody. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going all right. I just had a quick question for xSixAiluj. I was just wondering, like, what you think about when they did that. Like, I just saw your coaching on the Roach, like 3-base Safano style. I was wondering what you think about when they go like mutas along with that.
Yeah, that's something that's I was actually playing a lot of games against Rat and earlier the last couple of days, and often I'm able to hold off his roach pressure, but he's so good with mutas that often gets me. So,
Yeah.
The hard part is, with good observers, I mean, you notice the roaches aren't coming more. I've gotten to a point where I don't really get caught by surprise on mutas. I've got stalkers there. The initial harass isn't a problem. But the one thing I'm having a problem with is that I have this thing where it says they go to my main. I've got like 14 blink stalkers go there to defend it because they have maybe 18, 20 mutas, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest of my army is like 6 sentries, a couple immortals, a couple zealots, and maybe like 5 stalkers, and that's by my 3rd or something. And then what Rhett does is he runs the mutas to the main, gets me to blink there with the 14 stalkers, and then the mutas come in with Zergings and they kill all my sentries. And even though he'll lose like 10 mutas for the sentries, once those are down,
are dead.
Yeah, he has 6 hatches with 6 queens. Just throwing
Yeah.
like 130 20 seconds, and it's like I can't deal with 100 Zergings,
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, that's something I've been having trouble with too.
So I think if I work on my SimCities more and try to get my architecture set up, that I can hold those Zerging rallies up until you get Storm. Once you get Storm, I'm pretty much set. But there's that period between where it's really hard to deal with someone who's good at moving around with Zerging and mutas and attacking wherever units aren't.
Yeah.
And that's just practice, trying to get the timings and when to attack Storm, trying to get your base set up defense, and trying to split up units perfectly. And it's tough, but it's doable.
Alright, cool, thanks. And I like the stream. Julia, keep your head up. You do good things.
Oh, you're
Awesome.
cute. Thank you.
Nice guy. Thanks.
See you guys.
Later. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for Q&A. Sorry, I know a few of you guys we're still in line, but we can't have them here all night. So why don't we do shout-outs? You want to start, Julia?
Sure. Shout out to all the people watching, except the trolls. You guys are mean. Thanks, Chris, for having us on the show, and to Nick for all the coaching. I'm definitely going to be watching your those replays, so thank you for those. And to my team, Check6, and our sponsors, TT Esports sponsors Check6 also, so shout out to them especially, and for supporting the ChanmanV Pro Corner show. That's really awesome that you guys are going to be able to set something up with that too.
Yep.
And please follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, everybody, at Ailuj SC.
Awesome. All right, Nick, you're up.
Definitely shout out to everyone watching this show. I think it's a great show, and definitely deserves a lot more viewers. So much good content comes out here. And shout out to my new team. I've been was teamless for a bit, and they were nice enough to pick me up, and there are a lot of good people. I met them all in LG. We hanged out. We all shared a room and everything. And of course, the people make the team possible. Steel Series, Even Arts, and Zemotion. And then also to Twisted Oak Studios. They've been helping me out a bit as well. So they're a great gaming company out of Vancouver. And everyone who likes me, everyone who likes Chanman, and everyone who likes Ailuj, right?
Exactly.
Everyone who likes us. There you go.
Exactly. Well, again, big thanks to the two of you guys, and the two of you guys have been friends of the show for quite some time now. So, obviously I appreciate you guys, and love it when you guys are on. So, if you haven't seen the shows that they've been on, you check out the VODs. And like Nick was kind of saying earlier, there's so many good VODs. Like I was looking at them the other day, and we have, we're at episode 35 right now. And there's just so much good content for you guys to just check out. Like, go to youtube.com/ChanmanV. So much good, like, educational stuff for, just to get better at this game. So check it out, and, hopefully you guys will learn a few things from it. And big shout out to my mods, Vice Conroy, Peon, Trio, Tech StarCraft. These guys are not just mods to me, guys. These guys are friends, and they help with the show quite a bit, and they don't, they're volunteers too. So it's just like the great community at work there. And a shout out to, again, TTE and the, TTE Sports and the giveaways we're going to be doing. I mean, they're, again, awesome company, like I was saying before, and I'm just really happy that we'll be working together. And I did want to mention, a new website that you guys check out. It's called cybersports.tv. It's kind of a cool site that's kind of like a stream channel where you can just like stay on the site and just watch like just streams, just a lineup of streams. So check that out if you guys get a chance. It's a new site too. And anything else? Download my ChanmanV fan app on Google Play on Android phones, so that you can get all my tweets, and I can send you updates on when I have VODs up and when the next shows are. But VODs for the show will be up later this morning, or later tonight, early morning. And Thursday's show will be an earlier show, 4 p.m. Eastern, with Acer Nurcio. Really good European Zerg if you haven't heard of him. Be crazy if you haven't heard of him. But he's really, really good. And yeah, so I think that's where we'll probably call it a night. Won't be doing fan games tonight, guys. Sorry. Got busy, unfortunately. So we'll try to do it next time. But all right, guys, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Later, guys.